All right.
I think, yeah.
So, over here we have refrigerator vent. Here's the water heater. So we have high pressure release valve right there. Yep. So if it's hot, don't pull on that because hot water comes out. And then this is going to be the drain. So if you're not going to use the camper for a little while, for a month or two, I always recommend taking that cap off, let all the water drain out so that you don't have water sitting in there oxidizing and corroding the tank.
Do you hook up a hose to this or anything? Or?
Nope. You just unscrew that when it's cold and just let the water drain out.
Does this one have one of those, you know, some of the trailers have a deal, I don't know what it's called, that you pull out?
Oh, an anode rod?
Yeah.
Nope, this one doesn't have an anode rod. Nope. Okay.
Anything we ever do here?
Nope, nothing up there.
Put a bug screen.
Yep, I would recommend bug screens, stuff like that.
Okay.
Then we have furnace exhaust. That gets hot, so if you're camping in the winter and you lean back and the furnace is on, just don't bump into that because it gets real hot. Storage inside here. Propane tank. So we have the gauge right here. This is how you turn on the propane on the inside. So to the right's closed, to the left's open.
Okay.
When you take it to get filled, they'll fill it up here. And that's just a release valve.
So, if you have a gas grill, where do you hook? They said there's an outlet.
There's a
hose
quick
or
connect right here.
Okay.
Yep.
And that comes from the propane tank.
Yep, so you don't have to bring the extra 30 or 20 pound tanks.
Do you leave that on or off?
So we'll leave it on right now.
Okay.
So we can
Test everything.
Test everything.
Can we just see how big that storage is while you're here? Oh, that's long.
Storage.
It probably didn't go back
Lawn
very
chairs
far.
don't fit in.
I know,
There we go.
but okay. We
Do
didn't
all those have a
really-
light and an outlet in them, pretty much?
I believe all of them do, yeah.
Yeah.
Right here. And then outlet, and then right inside here, this is also if you decided to do solar, it's pre-wired and all the wiring comes in right there, and then you just connect the solar controller right there.
That's when you can get those panels that you just sit out
Yep.
in the yard.
Is that a worthwhile thing?
It really depends on what kind of camping you're doing. If you're going out to Colorado and you're going to be boondocking a lot,
So,
I would do some solar.
And they say you have to get like 250,000, whatever they call it, for it to really work good.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have like a lot of batteries with a lot of amp hours
Amps, I guess. Yeah.
to be able to do some stuff. Okay, so we did talk about propane hookup here, quick connect, and then you turn this valve straight, and that's how propane would go through when the hose is connected. So we have power step. We can turn that power step off so we don't have that stair coming in and out every time you open and close the door. So right here, that's the power step. Turn that off. And that stays out. As soon as you turn the ignition on, that'll come back in.
okay.
So this, if you want to just use a screen door, that'll slide
Yep,
over.
it slides over and keeps the bugs out. So we have.
Let me get on the inside.
We'll get inside.
So we can go inside.
Where was that?
Come on, Shadow.
All right. So inside here, before we forget, inside here we have the house battery.
Okay.
So this is what's going to be running everything on the inside. That's 12 volt.
Okay.
Okay.
Which would be,
So we have ceiling lights, all the lights like that. The vent fans, they're going to be all 12 volt. The water pump, and what else? Is this a
Hot water?
Yep,
you know?
so this is gas electric fridge. So you need 12 volt for igniting the pilot for the propane portion of the refrigerator.
Oh.
The stove's gonna be propane. I believe that's it.
Is that charged by the generator?
Yes, so that will charge your batteries while you're driving down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Alternators charging your batteries. And the LP and carbon monoxide detector is on
So
12
when we're
volt.
driving, that'll get charged.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so we have main power disconnect. So you want to disconnect the battery from the whole coach when you're storing it and it's not plugged in. You don't want anything draining the batteries because next time you come back, nothing's going to turn on, and then you got to plug it in, run the generator, and go through all that.
Does that do the battery up there as well, the motor, or just this one, or what?
Just
when you're
this
storing,
one.
just
Just
that
this
one.
one. Yep. Alright, so we have the power step button. This one's going to be for the awning light. So when we roll out the awning, I'll show you that right here. So we got awning out. Pop that open.
Big awning.
Ooh. The lights.
Yeah.
And where's that switch? Put the lights. Okay.
Awning
Running
light's right there.
Okay.
And they say don't keep it out when it's raining.
Don't keep it out when it's raining, and if it's really windy, it will sling it over the top if you get a good wind.
Hey, we watched the movie RV with Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, so
Went out to the, have you ever seen that?
oh yeah. So that's a good how not to go RVing. Alright, so we got the awning. And then for the leveling system,
Oh yeah.
right down there, there's an on and off switch, and then there's extend and retract. Right now, I'll hit the retract button, and that'll bring everything back up.
That's right here. Does that automatically level itself?
Yep. So
If I know where that thing?
Yep. And it's not really a leveling system, it's more of a stabilizer. Yep.
Okay. Will that, can you go with that down? As in you forgot to bring it up?
As soon as you hit the ignition on, those will start coming up.
Okay, good. I like that. You know, for
Yeah.
stupid people who forget stuff.
Because people
It happens.
Okay, I'm sure.
Because people say, make sure your levelers are up before you drive away.
Oh yeah. I still haven't seen it happen yet.
Uh-huh.
Like on these, if you turn the ignition, you can put it in drive and they don't budge. They don't do anything.
On
They
this one?
beep at you, but that's it.
Wow.
So,
But this, they will come up.
yep. This
Okay.
will come up.
Wow.
That's good to know. What else we got?
And then we have exterior lights, which is this little light that's right on the
Okay.
outside wall right there. Interior lights, all the ceiling. That's going to be the light across the top.
Is this running on electric right now, right?
Yep. So we're all plugged in right
So
now.
if we're not plugged in, it'll go just on propane.
Certain things. So if you're not plugged in, you're not going to be able to use your AC unless you're running the generator. TVs won't work. Power outlets won't work. Only USB would work. Well, it's unplugged.
Does the slide,
Slide will work. Yep. That's also going to be on 12 volt
and that's generator?
and generator. Yep.
Does that like come on automatically to work those things, or do you have to put the generator on
Nope.
before you work
All that
those
stuff
things?
should work as long as it's not like AC, outlets, TV, and microwave, and the refrigerator on electric. Everything else should run. You just have to fire up the generator to be able to use everything else if you don't have a power outlet.
So if you just pull in, you're not plugged in, you put the slide out, will the generator just automatically kick on and work
No.
it?
Nope, you don't need the generator to open the slide. It'll work on 12 volt just on batteries.
But it's really draining it.
Yeah.
Okay. And the engine key won't do anything.
Nope.
In fact, it might not even go out when the engine's on because
Yeah, I
they think you're,
believe it.
you're
Yep.
driving.
Yep.
So it's best to put the generator on if you're not plugged in to open the slide to save
Yep. to
draining your
help drain.
battery.
Yep. Very good practice. Yep. So up here we have the generator hour meter right here. So that'll tell you how many hours are on the generator, so you don't have to have a timer and keep logging hours. This is the start and stop button for the generator. That's the red light for the prime. Then hit start and that'll fire it up.
How many hours can you go on the generator? Or tell you it's like 30 hours or something like that? It's counting your hours you're using it.
Yes.
What's the max? Just tell you.
I mean, what is the hours? What does that mean?
That's
How
the
many
hours that it's running.
been run. How many hours it's been ran for the lifespan
Oh, okay.
of the generator.
Okay. Lifespan. Okay.
So I think it goes over 1,000 hours
Okay.
on that. Okay. So we have our slide button here. So we have extend and retract. Make sure when you're bringing in the slide, flip over the mattress, and then bring it in.
Okay.
So, testing your battery and seeing how much fresh water, black water, and gray water you have, that'll be all done right here. So for this little battery, click that, and that whole thing will light up showing that it's full. Fresh water tank, 2/3 full. Black tank, empty. Gray tank, empty.
How much is the black tank on and the gray tank?
So
You know?
capacities, I'm not a clue.
It's 30,
Okay, okay.
something like
It's like
30,
30 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
37
It's in the
gallons.
brochure, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I wish I had the mental capacity to remember
It's
all
all right.
the.
You're forgiven.
There's just way too many.
Yeah. Understand.
While we're talking about the toilet, it's like empty. If I want to go to the bathroom, do you have to dump water in it to flush it, or
Yes.
if it's
So right now we have the water pump on. We have water in the fresh water tank. So we can go to the bathroom technically.
like if we're driving down the road, and like you said, there's hardly any water in the tank.
So
Can
you can still use it. So just push all the way down the flush and then half to fill the tank. Then you can use it and then just
When you're driving, do you want water in there at all?
yes. So you still want to have water covering that seal.
Okay.
Unless you're going off-roading and this thing's jumping
Okay.
everywhere, water should not come
But
out
just
of that
about
hole.
like that. That's
Yep,
good.
just about
Okay.
that.
Cover the
That
seal.
covers the seal and keeps all the gases that are in the tank building
Okay.
pressure from pushing through the seal and making it smell really bad.
Okay.
Because it'll
But like
smell
it,
just
that said,
that.
it was empty, right?
Yes.
But yet there was still water there.
So that's telling you how much water's in the black tank, not in the toilet.
What's that go on, the gray tank?
So
I mean, how do you get, how is there water in there?
in the bowl.
Yeah, why is there water in there right now?
So with the water pump on, it's pulling water from the fresh water tank, and then it's filling the toilet, and then it's transferring water from the fresh water tank into the black
Okay,
tank.
so there is water in the freshwater tank right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So the black tank gauge, that just tells you how much water's in the tank that's been used. So when it drains down into here, there's a couple sensors on the tank, and it'll tell you how full it is. Yeah.
So actually all this is coming from the freshwater tank?
Correct. Yep.
So that's what we need to make sure there's water.
Right.
If
As
you
long
use
as
anything.
you don't have city water hookup, you have to have water in there.
And the pump going.
Correct.
And that can be working while you're driving.
Yep. I think
Okay.
that's why they made motorhomes instead of just only travel trailers. Because it's like, I don't want to do any pit stops. I don't want to stop at truck stops to use the restroom. All right, we're taking shifts. I'm going to the restroom while you're driving, and you don't have to worry about
Okay.
doing that. So we've got that. So this little red light right there, PMP, that's going to be the water pump light, just like on the outside how I had that one. That's going to be the light indicating the water pump's on. Okay. So we have tank heaters. So if you're in Colorado and you know it's going to start freezing tonight, turn that on before it gets to freezing, like in the 40s, so it has time to heat up the water and make sure everything doesn't freeze. Okay. Then we got water pump, and then we have the water heater. So you can run the water heater on propane, or you can run it on electric alone. So right now we have it on LP, and that's warming up that water. So we should have hot water. There we go. Yep.
Let me ask you another question while I'm thinking of it.
Okay.
The refrigerator. Suppose it's sitting in our driveway. We're going to go camping tomorrow,
Okay.
and we want to put food in the refrigerator. How do we get the refrigerator start to be cold?
Run it on propane. So when you don't have power hookup, so say right now we unplugged from the camper or from the shore power, and you're heading out to go camping right now. You could unplug that, have this set on automatic. So, automatic on electric, and then set the temperature. It'll cool this down. You want to do this about 6 hours before you're gonna start putting stuff in there to give it time to cool down. And as soon as we unplug from here, that's gonna go right over to gas.
Okay.
And then it'll run on the propane
While we're driving.
while you're driving. Yep, keeps it cold. And when you get to the campsite and you plug in, then it switches back over to electric.
Does
Or if you fire up the generator, it's going to power on, and then that'll go to electric
Automatically.
automatically.
That's nice.
Yep. As
Is
long
there-
as you have it set on automatic.
Okay.
Because you can have it set just on electric, just on gas, but I recommend leaving it on automatic, and it does its thing, and you don't have to worry about it.
When you're just storing, you're just sitting at, and maybe you're not going to go out for a couple of months. Do you just turn the refrigerator and everything off and open the door to?
Yes, 100%. Turn it off and leave the doors cracked open, just so you have ventilation and it doesn't build mildew and mold on the inside. 'Cause that's something that a lot of people are like, I didn't know, but that's
In the freezer, is there ice trays? Does it make ice?
I don't think this has.
But it does make ice.
Doesn't make ice now.
But
But
it's
it'll-
cold enough to put
it's
a
cold
bag of
enough.
ice in there.
Yep.
Okay.
control panel. We have accent lights, light above the sink for the microwave. This one is convection oven as well. So we have a vent fan and light above the stove. So for this stove, you have to have a grill lighter, light the flame. So just push in, turn the light it, and then you'll be able to adjust the temperature after that.
And then you have to turn everything off. Every time you want to use it, you light it, have to light it, or does the
Yep.
pilot light stay on while
Nope,
you're...
you have to light it.
Your pilot.
It'll just be right
Just
on
like a
top.
grill.
Yep, just like a grill. Talked about the fridge already. Talked about the toilet.
Anything
So-
with the shower or the vent?
For the bathroom, this vent fan, we'll crank this open. So there is a fan switch right here, but I recommend using this one here so you don't get it mixed up, because if you turn it off here, this one doesn't work. So it's easier to just use that.
And all those should be closed when you're traveling.
Yes. Yep. Shower. You can turn this and it adjusts the shower head and it turns it off as well. And then you have hot on the left side, cold on the right side. The shower door.
That is one funky door.
There we go.
These windows do have screens.
Mhm.
Nice.
So
Just
right now
wondering.
this is a little tight to open. Sometimes it'll open up on its own and the seal will separate. But if it's having a hard time because it's been sitting for a while, just take an old card, like old Blockbuster card, go between the glass and the seal and separate it, and then you can twist it open. You don't want to just keep prying at it because it'll bend the arms or it'll break the glass.
So you go where, on the outside? And
Yep, right on the outside, and just run it right behind the glass in between that seal. So we have another slide button right here.
Okay.
So you can bring it in over here. Then we have emergency exit. Just crank that open, push it out, get out. And you do have power outlets on this side, on the side.
and here also.
Yep.
On that side as
Cool.
well.
When this slide, how far does this slide go? To the
So-
end of the frame?
This part will slide in and it'll come all the way up to this wall.
So you can't actually use the bed when you're driving. Another thing we didn't think about, because the slide's been sitting out, so
You see at the YouTubes.
yeah, that kind of defeats. Unless you're really, really skinny. No, I guess you still can't.
Right, so we have a breaker panel here. And we have a GFCI reset, that little white button.
Okay.
The outlet stop working, just reset it right there. We have fuses right inside here.
Okay.
Everything is labeled.
What is that?
Fuses.
Fuses.
Okay. And there's another TV hookup right over here.
Yes.
Somewhere.
So top corner, you have your coax cable and power outlet, and then so right about here is where that beam is mounted. I believe over here we have. Did they show you the table and how to set it up? Yeah, that's nice little
He
feature.
didn't show us these things.
Didn't show you
And
those?
there was no board for that. I don't know if there's one somewhere that sits on the sink. There's a
Oh,
little round
Cover.
cover.
So this goes across the front to
Oh,
block
cool.
that. This is all your owner's manuals. Got TV remotes in here. TV tables.
Here.
Yep.
I think you're gonna have to make new ones, bigger ones.
That's the siphon tube I was telling you about
Okay.
for the country fill.
Okay.
They look kind of useless. There's no sink top in there. Underneath that other thing over there.
There it is.
There it is.
Perfect. You want it?
Yeah. Why not? I'd like to see it. It's pretty. It's like a cutting board. There's wires in that.
Yes, it is.
Is that gonna rip the wires or is it connected?
I'm gonna leave that like that. I'm gonna grab a technician
Sure.
to take a look at that and make sure that's the right way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it looks like you could cut the wires in two and pull the
Right.
stuff in and out.
What is that? That switch?
That's gonna be for the thermostat for your AC.
Okay.
talk about the AC unit. So here we have the thermostat, how you set the temperature. And then here, all the way to the left, that's going to be cool. The next click in is fan. Next one over is off. All the way to the right is for the furnace.
Well, this one.
Yep. So that one's going to control the fan on auto. That cycles the fan with the compressor. The other one just leaves it running full time
Okay.
on higher work. The big thing with these AC units, don't leave the door wide open while running the AC because it will make the compressor and all the condensers freeze over and then it won't cool. That's just one of those things where a lot of people leave the door wide open, keep going in and out, and then an hour and a half later, it's not cold in here. That's
Sure.
what's going on.
There's a USB plug back there.
We have USB and
Or outlet.
some 110 will drop out.
Now, can you put a table or something back there?
I think so. I think there's enough room.
Yeah.
I would keep it more on this side because there is that
All those wires down
wiring over there. What else? You were saying there was something that they didn't show you how to do over with the couches. Was it the recliners or no?
I don't think so.
Is there a ladder? Here?
So the ladder is right behind this.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
So we got the ladder.
They didn't pull the TV out or anything
We
either.
haven't pulled that out for you.
And see if it works.
So release the TV. Have this little pull cord. Pull that down. That'll release it. Okay. Power button. And we also have those TV remotes. So for this TV, whenever you go somewhere new, you gotta do a channel search. So click on the menu. Scroll over to channels. Auto channel search. That will show you antenna, cable from the wall, cable and satellite.
And what are we? Antenna?
We're on it. We're on the antenna. So if you're at a campsite that has cable, just click cable from the wall. That'll take the cable part
So
set.
this is basically like the old-fashioned just antennas, and you get whatever comes through
Yep.
airwaves.
Yep. But now it's fancy. It's digital. I miss the rap ears.
It's digital antenna, but it works the same.
Yeah. Actually, I like the rap ears because you could actually hear what's going on, even if it was all scrambling. With this, if it's like digitizing, there's no volume. It just goes out. So, there's the numbers. So right inside here we have the digital antenna booster button. So this little green light is showing that it's on. You hit this button, that turns it off, and you lose digital signal. So if you had your cable hooked up, that's what you'd want to do to be able to have the cable go through.
Okay.
And they said, I think they said you can add like a Xbox or I don't know, something through there, or like a DVD player if you wanted to, or
Not seeing HDMI there, but if
how far does that TV, is that the farthest it comes out? Towards us, I mean.
that over here before this, it's
See, you sit up here if you want to watch the TV.
These chairs, that's off some of them.
and you would just flip this over and not have that.
That's true.
These TVs are not like regular house TVs. You need an LED TV or like.
So
I don't think so.
Furrion makes an RV specific TV. Using a group of engineers that they said, we're tired of our TVs breaking because of vibration going down the road and heat, cold fluctuations. So they created their own. They still break. It's just like any other TV.
So we can just buy
You
one
can buy
at
whatever
Walmart
TV
when
you
it's on
want.
sale.
Yep.
And
Get ones that are smart TVs, put them in.
Okay. Wow.
so we could get a small one for the bedroom. They're so cheap now.
Yeah.
Now, does that lay flat at all?
No. Kind of hooks back
Okay,
there.
so, oh,
Yeah.
good, all right. So that keeps it from crashing. Okay.
So, got little booster seats for when you swivel the chairs around to show you the.
They did show
chairs
us
that
that,
work.
yeah.
So, any questions from here back?
I'm good.
So, from here.
Your brain's gonna explode when you're done with us.
Alright. So, the good thing about this is, in this RV, there's no self-destruct button. Take everything one at a time. The hardest part is just figuring out, okay, where is the switch for it? And then everything is just one or two buttons to figure everything out. So, don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. Just play with it, enjoy it. Don't get stressed out. Okay?
I have a question. The cable hooked to your electric right now, is that that goes to the RV?
Yes. So, if y'all want to hop up front, I'll show you everything up there. Alright, so for this radio, you can hit home. I'm going to take off that demo for you. Alright, so we have our home screen. That home button takes us here. We have the tuner, so we can go through different stations by seeking. If you click on this one, on these, that'll take you through all your preset settings. So you have to click on here to actually seek through the stations that aren't preset. So Click back to home. We have XM radio. On here, there's a little sticker up there. You get 3 months free.
Oh, really? It doesn't automatically renew, I hope.
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Nope, we don't put in your card number, so it doesn't get you locked in. And for Bluetooth, you can connect your phone, so you don't have to have your phone plugged
Your
in
phone on you?
to be able
Yeah.
to play
If you
music.
have Apple, that should come right up, right?
So on this radio, for you to mirror everything from your phone, you have to plug it in and plug it into this port right here.
Can't do it if it's
Bluetooth, it'll do just volume and play music, but it won't cast anything onto here, except for, I believe, maybe music. So we'll go to settings, get pairing.
I don't know who we are.
So
Are they down here?
nope, it's gonna be where it says other devices. Should pop up.
I'm not seeing other devices.
It's right down here.
Okay. And it's searching.
Nope, not it. Let's try this. Turn it off.
That it?
There we go. That's the one.
Okay.
Click on. So connect your contacts.
Connected.
There you go.
Here.
Frankie Valley. Is that you?
Okay. Cool. I like it.
So there's that way to play
So
music
you say
on
his
there.
contacts are already on now?
Yep. So we'll click on home, click on phone, phone book.
What should I be going to now? Phone? Or you got it all?
That's weird. I would say try calling him and see if that'll make it all together.
Or I can call you.
My phone's back there now. I just want to answer, I guess. Don't ring on here, though.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, but you did it on your phone.
Huh?
You want to do it on there.
It is happening on here. You must have answered.
You did. I want to
Yeah.
shut it off.
I'm going to shut it off. Good. What am I doing now? What do you want me to do now?
Shouldn't my name come up
Yeah,
on
should
there
have
and he
came
just
up.
hits it and it'll call? I mean, our old card does that.
Yeah.
You must just not have copied your contacts.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want it.
Can we reload?
We want a refund.
All right. Jewel is the one that will hand you back that. It's really weird.
You could set the clock while you're there.
Yeah.
Those are always tricky.
So I'm gonna be very cranky if it's 2:39 a.m.
11:32 a.m.
Today is the 16th.
Yeah, the cameras.
So yeah, let's skip along. So we can click on rear camera. Right now, since the ignition's not on, it's not gonna have power. So if you press the brake, hit start, release. There you go. Now you've got your backup camera on.
And then there's cameras over here on the side.
And then there's
right?
side view camera, so when you hit your turn signals, those turn on.
So only when you hit your turn signal. So is that like the blind spot or?
Yep. They even have it set up so you can drive down the road with your slide open and you can still see it.
Which is not good.
No, don't do that. But he said we could.
Well, my name's Jeff. Alright, so we've got that. You know what? I want to
Pair
try
it again?
Yeah, let's try disconnecting your phone from Bluetooth and then we'll just click on settings. We'll just hit Bluetooth off.
Do again.
Give it
Not connected, go. Connected. Try calling her again.
Wait a minute. No, you should be able to do
There
it from
we
the
go.
screen.
Okay.
Now we've got the pinwheel.
Maybe I called too soon before.
You did. You do everything too fast. Patience, my son.
Yes.
There we go. All right.
There you go.
So you should be able to just hit that and it makes the call. I hope you didn't call someone you didn't want to call.
Go with my-
You must have to hit the number, huh?
Okay.
Just in case you had multiple
Did it
cell
again?
phones.
Let's hold on. Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good idea. Anything else?
So
Time.
we got that. We set the time. You can connect USB into here. If you had like an old iPod or something like that. Rear cameras and then settings. You can go through there and change different things. Change
So is that the
language.
only
That's
USB
the
setting?
only USB that connects to the radio. So there is other USBs down here and
Charge.
a charge port right now.
Okay, good.
Do you normally drive with the rear camera on all the time?
I recommend
Yeah.
it. Yep. Because you can't look out the
No,
back.
right.
You gotta have some way to see if there's someone tailgating you, ready to zip around
Sure.
you.
Now is that on automatically when I start driving?
No. So you have to swipe over and hit rear
Okay.
camera.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Well, I'm thinking of this. Plugging it into our house.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually, what, 15 amp? So we get the little converter dog bone thing.
Yeah,
And
you'll
we
get a
should be
little
able
dog
to-
bone, the 15. So it'll be the 30 to 15 amp. Then you can plug in an extension cord and run it to an outlet.
A regular one after that, or a
So-
good one?
It has to be, I want to say at least a 20 amp breaker. From what I hear, the 15 amps normally trip real easy,
Yeah,
but
what we
a
have.
20 amp breaker should
Okay.
hold it. So
should you
can charge
leave
the
it plugged in
batteries.
at your house or not? Or,
I recommend it to keep the battery charged, just like trickle charging it.
Or you could just trickle charge it without plugging everything in.
Yep.
And did that have to be a special cord too?
No. Like if you have like a trickle charger, you can
Yeah.
just put it on the battery.
Okay.
Alright, so for the steering wheel, this one's a little fun. Alright,
We're still running one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the button that you'll swipe to go through different things. So you're just swiping down on this, and that'll cycle through. Then we can hit back, and that'll take you to different things. So the settings, trip, assistance, service. So I'll tell you coolant, engine oil level.
So you can see the engine oil level.
Yeah.
So everything's going to be on the dash for engine oil on there.
Because there's no dipstick,
There's
right?
no dipstick.
And
They
everybody
took it
says,
away.
but we don't know how to read the levels. But that's how you do it,
That's
huh?
how you do it. Yep.
Before the lights come on and say
Mm-hmm.
you're out of oil or something.
Yep.
Fuel.
Yep. So we have fuel at the bottom down here,
Oh, okay.
and then at the very top, right above where it says engine oil, that says DEF, and that's going to be the
Okay,
gauge
that's
for
full.
that.
Okay. So both of those are full. There you go.
And then we have cruise control. We have on and off. You can set the speed and then resume and cancel.
Okay.
For going into drive, just press on the brake and then you push this lever down, and then all the way up for reverse, and then push the side button to put it back in the park.
Right here.
Yep. So on this we have a battery booster button right here, this little button.
Mm-hmm.
So say you left your headlights on and your battery died on the chassis. Press and hold that jumps from your house battery to help charge your chassis battery to fire up the engine, and vice versa. So if you left some lights on, you forgot to hit the battery disconnect, and you wanted to fire up the generator, press and hold battery boost while the engine's running to help charge the battery faster, and then fire up the generator.
Okay. Like jump starting from
Yep.
another car or something. Okay.
It's all built in. Then by your left knee, you have your headlights. You can set it on auto.
Yes.
I typically leave it on that.
What are these two buttons here?
Those are just false panels. So if
Okay.
you had 4x4 or auxiliary lights on the bumper or on the roof, that would be where you can
Hook it
put
into
those
there.
toggle switches.
Okay.
The tricky one is the e-brake. So they did this weird system, which is actually pretty cool. All the way up, and then you can push it down. The e-brake's still on, but now you can swivel your seat
Oh, okay.
to pull it out, lift it back up, and then pull it past, and then press the button to bring it
Okay.
back down. Okay.
And when you're parked, you should put the emergency brake on.
Yep. Then for AC controls, this is the AC button to turn on the compressor, temperature control, and then fan speed. And then this one controls whether it's coming out of the top, feet, dash, and just
Like a car.
Yep.
So there is no glove compartment. It's just this.
Correct. So there's that. You have another little glove compartment up here.
What are these?
Cup holders.
More cup holders?
Yep. On the older models, they didn't have enough cup holders, and now they're like, you know what?
Hey,
Everyone
let's go
complained about
crazy.
it. All
Okay,
right.
we're
No.
gonna take
Let's
care of
just
that.
litter the
boy.
place with cup holders.
No
Okay.
vehicle
Putting
has
them
enough
everywhere.
cup holders.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't believe there's none back there, is there?
I know.
Stupid.
And they made it big enough that you could actually use like a Yeti cup or something
Yeah.
that's like a big gulp.
Yeah. Ooh.
Does that bumper end come off to put in your sewer hose?
Yes.
Okay. That's where it stores.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I did all this research, huh? give me an idea what is going on.
There's more storage here.
Yep,
on this
more
end.
storage up there. So here we have reading lights. You can turn off the on and off the lights up here. Turn it on. Just single side. So you have a call for, like, if you needed roadside assistance, you can press that button. If there was an accident, that'll go off and you can end the call and do that from there. Little sunglass holder.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Alright. Any questions up in the front?
Nope. You good?
I think so.
Okay. Shut it off.
As long as you're paying attention for all the mechanical stuff.
What do we got? What's left?
Right. So,
Technician.
technician
Yeah, he
on
never
that.
came, did he?
And we will do the Jayco warranty and post demo while he's doing that.
Is the TV still on?
And what?
You said the TV's still on.
Oh, TV's still on, yes.